Your results are not lying to you. They've been speaking to you clearly, consistently, precisely for many years. Most people, though, just don't know how to listen. They interpret their results through the lens of the current circumstances, the market, the timing, their competition, the economy, the tech, and now the algorithm. All of it may be partially true, and yet none of it is the primary story. The primary story is in the identity that's producing the results. And your results, when you know how to read them, are the most accurate and honest diagnostic of your current programming that exists. And today, we learn how to read them. Welcome back to Restart Your Life. See, the most expensive cognitive habit of the high performer is external attribution, which means external attribution is the pattern of assigning causality for your results to forces outside of yourself. Now, let me be really precise here. External factors are real. The market does matter. Timing matters. Relationships matter. None of this is magical thinking that denies the reality of the current environment. But here's what external attribution misses. Two people with near identical resources, near identical markets, near identical skill sets consistently produce dramatically different results. So the difference is not the external variable. The external variable is a constant between them. The difference is the internal variable, the identity each person brings to the same environment. And when you attribute your results primarily to external cause or factors, you remove yourself from the equation. You make yourself a victim of circumstance, and you eliminate your access to the only lever that actually changes the outcome. See, your results are not primarily a product of your environment. They're primarily a product of your identity operating within your environment. So here's a framework that changes how you can read your current results, because your current results are a precise printout of your current programming, not an approximate reflection. I believe a precise printout. Because every consistent pattern in your results, whether it's income level, client quality, execution, consistency, health patterns, is the output of a specific set of subconscious beliefs and identity structures. So when you learn how to read the results as just identity data, it's data, rather than as circumstantial outcomes, you gain access to the most accurate real-time feedback system available for your transformation. See, your results are telling you right now, today, exactly where your identity is calibrated, exactly what you subconsciously believe about yourself, about what's possible, about what you deserve, and how people like you operate. The question is, are you listening? Here is the results to identity translation framework. And it kind of explains 5 areas. Each kind of has a diagnostic window. So number 1 is when you're looking at, transforming your performance, is you have to look at your income consistency. Look at your income over the last 24 to 48 months, not the peaks, the consistent range. What is the floor you reliably return to regardless of the environment? What is the ceiling you reliably bump against? That range is your income identity, the self-image thermostat set point for money. The specific number is not the primary information. The consistency of the range, the fact that you keep arriving in approximately the same place regardless of strategy, regardless of market conditions, that is the identity signal. Number 2, clients and opportunity quality. You got to look at the quality of the clients or opportunities you consistently attract and close. Not the best deals you ever did, not the exception, the consistent pattern. What level of client do you consistently work with? What does the average deal look like? Who are the people who consistently say yes to you? This is your self-image in the context of worth and positioning. It tells you exactly who you subconsciously believe you deserve to serve and who deserves you. Number 3, execution consistency, which is my favorite one. Look at the activities that you know are the highest value for your business. Lead generation, sales conversions, sales conversations, strategic relationship building, creative output, whatever the key levers are in your specific context. Now look at how consistently you execute them daily. Not when you're inspired to do so, not in your best weeks, but consistently. Where are the gaps between what you know you should do and what do you actually do? These gaps are identity gaps. See, the self-image is not yet consistent with the person who executes these activities automatically and without resistance. So we are at number 4, recovery speed after a setback. Like, how long does it take you to recover your performance after a significant setback? As an example, a deal that falls apart or a relationship that deteriorates. Maybe you've done a launch that completely blew up and totally underperformed. See, high identity calibration produces a rapid recovery after a problem. The setback is processed, the lesson is extracted from it, and then forward movement resumes without extended whining and crying and not doing anything about it. Low identity calibration produces disproportionate recovery time. So the setback confirms existing subconscious beliefs about your capability, your deserving, or the safety of what you're doing. And if that low identity calibration exists, you're just going to sit around and do nothing for a longer period of time. So your recovery speed after a setback is a direct indicator of your resilience, and by extension, your overall identity. Number 5, the opportunity you pursue versus the opportunity you avoid. This is perhaps the most revealing diagnostic of all of them. Look not at just what you pursue, but at what you constantly avoid. The high-level prospect you don't call because you're nervous or scared, you don't want to bother them, or the strategic partnership you don't initiate. The market positioning you don't own, you don't claim it for yourself. And maybe the fee you don't charge. See, every consistent pattern of avoidance is a permission boundary. The invisible line where your self-image says that level is not for you. So if you map the avoidance pattern and you map the permission boundary of your current identity, you get a clearer picture of what's happening. Let me walk you through a diagnostic conversation that I have regularly with clients at the beginning of our engagement. And it's not always so linear. It's not always so formal. But most of these conversations and questions do happen. I basically ask them to describe their last 12 to 24 months of business results, not from the perspective of effort or activity, just the results. Bob Proctor used to say all the time, how much money have you earned? Or what was the highest amount of money you've ever earned? He didn't care about the money. He just wanted to find out where you were calibrated. And then, I'll ask a question like, if a stranger read that description of your business results after they give me the answer, knowing nothing about your strategy, your market, your product, what would they conclude about what you believe is possible for you? See, this reframe is really powerful because when people look at their results through the lens of their own identity, rather than the circumstances, they see something they've been avoiding seeing all the time. The results always tell a consistent story, a story about what the person subconsciously believes they deserve, what they believe they are capable of sustaining, and what they believe is appropriate for someone with their background and their history. And invariably, the story the results tell is significantly more limited than the story the person consciously tells about themselves and their potential. See, that gap between the results story and the conscious narrative is the diagnostic. And once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it. And you can no longer attribute it to the market circumstances. So from today, I want you to change how you relate to your current results. Stop defending them. Stop explaining them. Stop attributing them to outside circumstances. Just start reading them. Look at your results as a system would look at its own output, neutrally, curiously, and diagnostically. What is the data telling you about the programming that you currently hold? What is the consistency of what you do daily revealing about your identity and how you view yourself? What is the avoidance pattern mapping about the permission boundary? See, your results have been giving you precise, accurate, honest information about your identity for years. The question is not whether the information is available. The question is whether you are willing to look at it directly and do something about it. See, this week, I want you to take some time, go through those 5 questions and really look at it through the lens of your business and through those particular questions. There are 5 areas: income consistency, your client quality, how you execute consistently daily, how you recover from setbacks, and what opportunities are you avoiding. For each one, write the identity interpretation. Like, what would that person have to believe in these situations, in these circumstances? What does this pattern tell me about what I currently believe at the subconscious level? And then take a look at that document, because what you have in front of you is the most precise map of your transformation work that exists. See, the Path to Transformation program begins exactly here with this level of diagnostic clarity. And then we build a systematic 6-month process to rewrite patterns to help you perform at the highest of levels. Book your discovery call. We want to talk with you. We want to help you in your business and your life. Book your discovery call at restartyourlife.com, and I can't wait to talk to you. Enjoy this next week.